And good evening, I'm WSA 9 meteorologist Shutt. We've got a really unbelievable day tomorrow in terms of the different types of weather and the impacts it could have. So first, let's start with threats for Saturday. We have a yellow weather alert. No real surprise there. Believe it or not, tornado is on the table. It is a low threat and it's confined to southern Maryland and the northern neck, but it's still on the table. Heavy rain, that's here. Heavy snow, moderate to high winds. Yeah, that's a big threat as well. So how do those threats translate into impacts? Well, flooding is a low to moderate risk. Everyone's going to see a pretty heavy batch of rain or burst of rain before it kicks to snow. So slippery roads, that's high. I know it's been warm, but I think the plummeting temperatures and the heavy snow will overcome that. And then dinner plans, that's a moderate impact. You may want to change it. If you do go out, I think the roads will be okay by that time, but please be careful of the driveways and alleyways and sidewalks. Power outages, yeah, there's another impact. We're going to have winds up to 50 miles an hour, a little bit of snow on the trees. That's not a good combination. And also they butted a little bit, so there's a little bit more for the wind to blow around. So here's what we're thinking. And we haven't changed this since this evening. Trace to 2 inches. Now remember, 11 o'clock I'll have new data in, and we may have to change this a little bit. And in fact, I'm going to talk about one of those changes, what one of those changes could be. 2 to 4 inches, northwest D.C., Leesburg, Gaithersburg, Frederick, Martinsburg, up into Cumberland, and then essentially 4 to 6 plus west of the divide. So everyone's going to, yesterday I said everybody's going to see snowflakes. I think tonight we can say everybody's going to see at least a covering of snow all the way down to southern Maryland. Here's the change I was alluding to. See GFS here? Has the bullseye now in our northern or western suburbs. I mean, big-time bullseye. Manassas, Culpeper, up into parts of Fairfax and Loudoun County, across the river into Gaithersburg and Frederick. So that's one trend we're going to watch. And there's another model that's actually on board with that trend. For now, the European has snow everywhere, but the amounts are less, but still the higher amounts will be west of I-95. I think we can safely say that. Will they be 2 to 4 inches west of 95 or, 6 to 8 inches west of 95? So here are the models. Now, the NAM's gone up to 8. The GFS has gone from like 3.5 to almost 5. Everybody else kind of right around the 2 to 3 range. I think what we have to do is, throw out the 8, throw out one of the 2 5s, and then just think more like 3. That's what we're thinking. It's very hard to get snow, if you've lived here for any length of time, on a northwest flow. It doesn't usually happen. Usually the snow shuts off very quickly, but we have a lot of dynamics with this system as this becomes kind of a bombogenesis and really deepens quickly. So this is the GFS numerical form of the big map I just showed you. So by 7 a.m. it has 3 inches already in Leesburg. That may be a little fast. By 1 o'clock it's got 9 inches in Culpeper, 4 inches in D.C., already an inch into southern Maryland. And by 6 p.m. it's got essentially 1 to 2 southern Maryland, but 4 to 8 across northern and western suburbs. That includes D.C. So that's the GFS. And again, most of this is going to fall between 7 a.m. and about 1 p.m. Now, the European says by 1 o'clock we got 2 inches in D.C., not even 3 yet in Leesburg, and by 6 p.m. we only have essentially a 2 to 3 inch snowfall across the board, maybe a little bit less extreme southern Maryland. So that's, that's reasonable. Not certainly throwing that out, and that's been pretty consistent. But look at the other American model, North American model. It's got 7 inches in D.C. by 1 o'clock, 7 inches in Leesburg, and by 7 o'clock it's got 8 inches in D.C., and it has as much as 10 inches back into Harrisonburg. So this model, the 2 American models, are trying to throw the bullseye very close to D.C. and our northern or western suburbs in the order of 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, which would be, I've never seen that on a northwest flow. That would be incredible. All right, tonight, no problems. 11 o'clock, okay. Winds out of the south, temps in the upper 40s, that's okay. But by morning, it really gets in here quickly. This is 7 a.m. The green is rain. The red is thunderstorms. So we could actually see severe thunderstorms, northern neck, southern Maryland, between about 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning. Isolated tornado not out of the question. At the same time, it will be snowing as close as Fairfax and Gaithersburg and Leesburg. By 10 o'clock, now we have good snows across most of the metro. That's blue. Notice the darker shades of blue. That's heavier snow. This is the transition in pink and the green. And, of course, the yellow, reds, and oranges are all heavy rain. By 1 o'clock, begins to thin out a little bit, so it's not going to be around here long. If this storm just stalled for 6 hours, this would be a major, major storm. As it is, Pretty big storm for March. By 1 o'clock, look at the temps though, below freezing. Even Fredericksburg is below freezing. So what falls is not going to be like a typical March snow. It falls and melts in the afternoon. It's going to be with us. 5:30, it's going to be in the low to mid-20s. That's not wind chill. We'll get to that. By Sunday, Monday, we're in great shape. In fact, by Monday, we're back in the upper 50s, near 60. Look at the real estate of the winter storm warnings from northern Georgia all the way to Maine, and look at all the winter weather advisories that stretch up through I-95, essentially I-95 and west. Not much going on west of 95, east of 95. So close in view, these are our winter storm warnings in white, the Blue Ridge, and now we've seen these extended across, including the district, and also all of Montgomery County and Fairfax County and Prince William County. I would not be surprised to see these extended just a little bit more, maybe to Prince George's County, maybe to Charles, maybe not in southern Maryland, but I would extend it 2 more counties. So we've got that. Oh yeah, we got the wind advisory. This is essentially 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Covers the entire metro. Winds could gust 50 to 55 miles per hour. That's not a good combination. Now here's one model forecasting wind gusts. By 7:45 in the morning on Saturday, winds to 40 at Gaithersburg, 36 in D.C. I mean, if half of this comes to pass, it's going to be a wild Saturday morning. Wild Saturday morning. By noon, we got winds of 40, winds of 50 across the bay for Easton and Cambridge. They may have to close the Bay Bridge. I think the threshold is 55. And then by 5:15, winds are still gusting over 35 miles per hour, pretty much across the board out of the northwest. Even by 9:30, winds are still gusting to over 30 miles an hour. So what does that mean? Well, here are the wind chills. So 8 o'clock on Saturday already feels like it's 22 in Gaithersburg and 26 in D.C. Doesn't go up. By lunchtime, now it feels like it's 12 in Leesburg, only 15 in D.C., and 19 as far south as Fredericksburg. That's crazy. If you're out late, it's going to feel like it's 10 to 15 Saturday night. That's 5:30. Questions? Yes, go ahead. How much in Bowie? We have you in the 2 to 4 range in Bowie, and you're not under an advisory yet, but I would not be surprised if you weren't by 11 o'clock tonight. Woodbridge, you're kind of on the edge. We got you 2 to 4 inches. In fact, I'm going to circle back to that map in 1 second. Look at the wind chills at 11 o'clock Saturday night. 7, Leesburg. 5 above in Gaithersburg. So a lot of March storms. As I mentioned, it will snow, and it'll melt right away and be pretty the next day. It's going to be cold the following day and still icy the following day. So even in the morning on Sunday, feels like it's in the upper teens to low 20s. All right, 10 a.m. plans in Fairfax? Yeah, unless it's like, life or death, you're getting married, I'd cancel them, yes. I don't see any outdoor activities going on tomorrow at all, and I think if you can cancel activities that would require driving and walking, you might as well. How do you account for sun angle and warm ground impacting totals? Well, it impacts totals except for the fact it's going to snow faster than it can melt, and temps are going to plummet and be below freezing. So it's not like a typical March snow where we'll get heavy snow and it'll be 34 degrees, and it never really sticks anywhere but the grasses, the grassy surface areas. This is Arctic air. This is pure Arctic air. So the sun angle and the warm ground will help, but it's going to snow simply faster than that. Also with the winds, that will help take away some of the heat. Remember, January 1st was 66 degrees, okay? We had 8 inches of snow on the 3rd. So it's something to consider, but it always accumulates faster than you think. Can I go into this? Do you want more questions? Yes? Okay. All right, so let's break this down. It's complicated. So midnight to 6 a.m. on Saturday, we have the severe storm possible in southern Maryland, and we have heavy rain in the metro. All right, that's kind of the first stage. The second stage, this is 6 a.m. to noon. Now the rain quickly changes to heavy snow, 1 to 4 inches. We'll broad brush that 1 to 4 inches. Heaviest snow 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now we got temps in the 30s, and in most spots below freezing. Winds now 20 to 40 miles per hour. Noon to 6, okay. Snow ends early, partial clearing, windy, very cold. We're going to have some power outages, right? Temperatures now 28 to 32, winds gusting to 50 between noon and 6 p.m. And again, if you're going to go out Saturday night, it's not going to be snowing, but just windy and very cold. 15 to 25 for lows, wind chills 5 to 15 if you're out super late. And some of the driveways and sidewalks will be slippery. I should probably put that on there. I think I'll put that on there next time we do that. So that's the storm, and it's very complicated because it has severe weather to winter weather. So we're looking at falling temperatures Saturday. Oh, yeah, we lose an hour Saturday night. Push your clocks ahead 1 hour. And then only 43 on Sunday. But at least Sunday you'll be able to maybe get out and run, maybe not cycle. Well, you'll be able to find cycle. But so snow Saturday, 1 to 4 inches, heaviest 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Slick spots through Saturday night. And then lots of sunshine, but still cold on Sunday. So obviously yellow weather alert. Cold on Sunday, milder on Monday. Back to near 60 on Monday. So the good news is it gets cold this time of year, but it can't stay cold for more than like a day or two. We're low 60s on Tuesday. We're near 60 Wednesday. Maybe some showers Wednesday night into early Thursday. Does not look as potent as it did yesterday. And then next Friday, we're back to 70 degrees. So, any more questions? Drive to New York around 7 a.m. I mean, it'll be rain transitioning into snow. You won't get to New York before it kicks to snow in New York. You'll probably get halfway, you know, maybe over the Delaware Memorial Bridge. I mean, I would say leave earlier or just wait. Will Culpeper or Fredericksburg see the severe threat for tornadoes? No, it'll be a little further south and east of you. We're thinking like mainly St. Mary's County, maybe Calvert County, but more St. Mary's County and the Northern Neck into Virginia. Does this remind me of the March 1993 storm? Well, you know, it's a good question. I mean, yes and no. It's not as powerful, and it's a little different in terms of precipitation because, and this is unusual, again, I emphasize this, it's unusual to get snow when we have northwest winds here. It doesn't usually happen. That's a dry wind. It's a drying wind. When the nor'easter goes past you, you get the northwest winds, you dry out, and that stops snowing. So, but what does remind me about it is the length and breadth of the winter storm warnings, you know, from North Georgia all the way to Maine. That kind of reminded me of it, yes. Woodbridge and Martinsburg, snow. Okay, hold that thought. I'm going to go through these real quickly and we'll get to the map. So these are our threats. Tornado low, again, Northern Neck, Southern Maryland. Heavy rain is high. Heavy snow is moderate to high. High winds are pretty much a given. So the impacts then. Well, flooding is low, but low to moderate, but on the table. Slippery roads, yeah, that's high. Dinner plans, you might want to change them. And then power outages, low to moderate. Okay, so here's our map. So Bowie, you're kind of on the edge there. You know, you're more like maybe 2 to 3 in Bowie or earlier. What were the other cities? Martinsburg and Woodbridge. Yeah, we've got you in the 2 to 4 range. One thing I did change, and I found most models doing this, not quite so sure why, they were kind of really cutting down the snow for Cumberland and Romney. So I took them back to the 2 to 4 range instead of the 4 to 6 plus range. And every model I've looked at has been consistent with giving Cumberland only like 2 to 3 inches. Yesterday they were giving Cumberland like 8. So that has changed a little bit. And it's going to change again. I mean, you know, check in with us at 11 o'clock. We're going to get a new model. We're going to see if that GFS is onto something with this bullseye west of town, maybe not being 2 to 4, but maybe being more like 4 to 6. Something like that. Any more questions? Will the roads be icy in Silver Spring Sunday morning? Yes. Again, not a typical March snow. It's going to stick around for a while with temperatures in the teens Sunday morning. Yes, it will be a little icy, especially, I mean, the roads will probably be okay, but I'm worried about sidewalks, driveways, and that sort of thing. Yeah. What? Mm-hmm. Will we have to shovel from vehicles Sunday morning? That's a tough question. It's going to be so windy, it might blow it off. You'll probably have to scrape a crust off. Yes. Yeah. No more questions? Okay. So, again, 2 to 4, northwest D.C., north and west, trace to 2, down to the south. Bullseye right now is west of the divide, and they're under a winter storm warning. But we're going to get I'll have 2 more models in at 11 o'clock when we see you then, and we'll adjust this as needed. And, right now I would just say prepare for the winds and prepare for some power outages. Keep your devices charged, and good time to download our app, and it's a good time to join up, be our weather watcher, right? Go to our website, wsa9.com/weather watchers. Join up. We love a pair of eyes and ears in this kind of a situation, especially with snow. Picture is worth 1,000 words. All right, for now, I'll let you get back to what you were doing, and I'll see you at 11 o'clock.